Bully Boy, next up on the show, moves that the Philadelphia 76ers can make to put them over the top. Okay, Bully Boy, putting on your GM hat here. Trade for Patrick Beverly, sign DeMarcus Cousins, Hassan Whiteside, or even Enes Freedom. What do you think? So you can't sign all of those centers. You're going to have to select one, and all of them are different. Boogie, not the player who he was back in his prime, where for about an 8-year stretch, he was on this trajectory of being one of the most skilled bigs in the history of the NBA. Injuries, he's never been the same. Still at this point, he can knock down the three, put the ball on the floor just a little bit, even though he lacks all of his explosiveness that made him really, really dangerous. And he can mix it up down low. Not much of a defensive player because he's slow. Hassan Whiteside, on the other hand, shot blocker, rim protector, really good with the alley-oops, and just offers you tremendous size. Cannot shoot the three ball at all. Enes Freedom, maybe a little bit of a baseline, Jay. He's probably second best on this list. I'd honestly go Whiteside, Enes Freedom, DeMarcus Cousins. That might be a hot take, but I think Freedom is out of the league just because of his stance on politics right now. I actually think he could be a backup big in the NBA. But yeah, I like one of the three free agent bigs to back up Embiid alongside Paul Reed, and then trading for Patrick Beverly. I'm not sure that's realistic because you traded for DeAnthony Melton and you signed PJ Tucker. Bully Boy, appreciate you though. Speaking of the Sixers, where do you think the Sixers starting five ranks in the NBA? 30 teams in the association. Where are they? Let me know right now. We go to this one from Philly Irish Drew Evo. Did the Sixers make another move? Appreciate you tuning in from Philadelphia, my guy. I'm from Westchester, went to Temple. Shout out to 610, the 215, and the 484. I see you rocking that Eagles hat, and obviously with the nickname on YouTube, you're from Philly as well. Did the Sixers make another move? I don't really know what they do. I'd like to see them bring in another backup center. Reunion with Dwight Howard, DeMarcus Cousins, Hassan Whiteside. I like Paul Reed, but you need another backup center and a veteran piece in there who's actually capable as compared to DeAndre Jordan would be nice. Do you take a flyer on Jeremy Lamb? Do you want Dennis Schroeder as a backup point guard when James Harden and Tyrese Maxey need a little bit of a break from ball handling responsibilities? Maybe, but slim pickings right now. The Sixers roster, I think they've improved it from last year in terms of depth and their starting five and toughness, so I do like where the Sixers are at right now. Speaking of the Sixers, Drew, get your vote in. Others, get your votes in. What the Sixers need and what is their biggest weakness, what do you think it is? O for offense, D for defense. Chime in right now in the comment section. My boy, Lion Fighter X with the $5 super chat. Let's go. What's up, Chase? Will Tyrese Maxey be an all-star this season? Tyrese Maxey has all the ability to be a breakout candidate. He has all the ability to be an all-star player down the road. I'm not sure if it's going to happen as quickly as year 3 because of the complementary pieces on this team. James Harden, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, they're going to have their hands on the basketball a lot. Now, I do think that when Harden is on the floor and off the floor, Tyrese Maxey is going to be handed a bunch of the ball handling duties, and the offense will primarily go through him and Joel Embiid. And I think because of that, his production is going to be really good. If he could put up numbers like he did in the playoffs, in the regular season this upcoming year, where he's averaging, let's say, 20 to 22 points per game and one of the top 5 best three-point shooters in terms of percentage in the league next year, then he could become an all-star. I just don't know if it happens as early as year 3, but if it does, Lion Fighter, me and you will celebrate. Some might say the Warriors are off-season winners. They won a championship and they were able to get good value deals and replenish that talent to a certain degree. But who do you think is the biggest NBA off-season winner? Give me a name right now in the comment section. Bob Berta, NBA breakout candidates. This will be the last segment, or the last question, in our mailbag. Yeah, you know what? I sometimes I just plan ahead and I put together some of these lists. Last week, it was my top 10 players, and we have this in the database, some of my NBA breakout candidates, because we like to stockpile these graphics in case we do them on a show at some point. So good job by producer Coop for pulling this up, but here's some of my breakout candidates here. And I'm going to exclude rookies because that's kind of our chat sports rule, right? How can a rookie be a breakout candidate? But year 2 guys and beyond, they can be deemed as breakout candidates. Tyrese Halliburton has been really good throughout his NBA career, but I look at breakout candidates like in the running for most improved player, and it's kind of a combination of both. Halliburton can become, I believe, a borderline superstar in this league and a future all-star. He was awesome for Indiana last year, really good for Sacramento. One of the few players in the history of the NBA who's actually wanted to play for the Kings, and they still dealt him away. Jalen Green, last couple of months of last year, arrow pointing up for him, started to find his groove, started to have some confidence. Early in his rookie campaign, it was a little bit rocky, really started to turn that corner and turn it on at the end of the year. OG Anunoby, just look at the numbers that he's put up the last couple of years, continues to get better and better and better and better. He's always had the length, the bulk, and the athleticism, but with OG Anunoby, the offense is what continues to blossom. And then Jalen Suggs, big year 2 for him. And this is a team that I think is a good complementary cast for what Jalen Suggs does well. A little bit confused as to why Orlando played him so much off ball last year, also dealt with a couple of injuries, but if he can settle into that point guard role, I think that'll allow him to kind of maximize his ability. So right there, 4 breakout candidates for me. Lazy Laker, what's the latest on Kai Sotto after he didn't get drafted? So just some context, during the NBA draft lead-up, we were talking a lot about international prospects from all across the globe, and there was a big interest in Kai Sotto because we have a large Filipino audience. By the way, everybody in the Philippines tuning in, if you were impacted by that earthquake that registered on the Richter scale of more than 7, I hope that all of you are safe and sound in the Philippines, because we here at Chat Sports love you. And Kai Sotto, hopefully him and his family are okay, because he was attempting to be the first Filipino basketball player who was born in the Philippines to get drafted. Now, Jordan Clarkson and Jalen Green are of Filipino descent, but Kai Sotto was trying to make history. As we know, he didn't get drafted. So here's the latest with Kai. He did go undrafted. I thought this was weird that he didn't participate in the NBA Summer League. Would have been a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills. The average attendance per day at a couple of those Summer League games, 11,000. They broke records, and he could have played in that and gained a lot of traction, maybe signed a UDFA deal. I've always said this. If Taco Fall and Boban Marjanovic can play in the NBA, I think Kai Sotto deserves a shot. Because he didn't play in the Summer League, because he didn't get drafted, he is under contract in the NBL in Australia, one of the best international leagues in the world, with the Adelaide 36ers, and he's expected to assume a larger role with the team because the 36ers going to lose some players in that front court. So this past year only played about 15 minutes per game. The production was pretty solid. This upcoming year, maybe he even improves his stock a little bit so that he can carve out a role on an NBA roster. Before we continue on our mailbag, taking all these questions from our loyal subscribers, you might be subscribed, but are your notifications on? If they're not, make sure you turn them on. Therefore, anytime we go live, anytime we publish a video, you will be notified and receive that push notification. How do you do it? You follow the steps right here to my right. You go to the settings portion on your app, on your phone, scroll down, tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. Therefore, again, once we do anything here at Chat Sports, you will stay in the know.